Take a moment to arrive. Close your eyes and tune in. Find your center in your spine, in your breath, in your heart. Oh, can you feel yourself arrive? Your breath. You have to feel it. Non-mechanical. Arrive in your breath. You feel I am at home in my breath. You feel yourself arrive in your heart. Not in your mind, not at the past, all the stories, all the rules, all projections. No, in your heart. It's an expansive. It's like when you jump in the ocean, you feel, I'm in the ocean. You feel the ocean around. You don't need to think about the ocean when you jump in the ocean. When you're in the ocean, you feel the ocean. And the same way, you have to feel, yes, I am at home in my heart. All day we run around doing things for people that don't mean anything. All day we run around saying empty, meaningless words. So at least we can take a few moments to check in. Am I at home in myself? It's a feeling. It's not a checklist. It's not a set of rules. It's not more rules. Am I a good boy? Am I a bad boy? No, it has nothing to do with that. To be at home in yourself, you must cultivate the habit. You have to make it a habit. Not a I hope so. Not a maybe possibly. This is the foundation of life. This is the foundation of success. What is it to be successful? To be at home in yourself. No running around, cheating, lying, winning, losing, everything. Is this success? So, the beginning is the end. The beginning means start from this place of depth to be deeply in your center. Deeply, not at the surface level, not a show for others, not a checking in the mirror, making sure everything looks good. No, this is the deep level. In your cells, in your heart, in your blood. It's an inner rhythm. To be at home. To be at home. Like when you get into your bed, a nice clean bed with nice clean sheets, comfortable mattress and everything, you feel that same way, to feel that same sense of in yourself, in your body, in your heart, in your mind, is a must. Without that, no matter how much we have, it's worth nothing. It's empty. Then we're just lying. How are you? Oh, I'm fine, thank you. And you? Good, and you? How are you? Yeah. Me too, yeah, good. Thank you. Not to be at home. It's not an achievement. It's not something to prove. It's not an accomplishment even. It's a foundation. We can't neglect this foundation. You can't. But look what happens. Look around. Look around. Everyone is drowning, flailing around, drowning, grabbing onto whatever they can to try to give some sense of security, some sense of something, because lacking in the foundation, no roots. The roots in being yourself. Be yourself means to be at home in yourself. Everyone is so wonderful. We're all so smart. We've done so many things. We've learned so many tricks. I know everyone knows how to do their taxes and everyone can get go to the airport and get on an airplane, and we can do all these things. We've gone higher education and learning so many things. But if you're lacking in this primal education, this fundamental education to be at home in yourself, then it's worthless. It's meaningless. So this seems like a good starting point, no? Let's start from this point. To be at home in yourself. We can start there, and we end there. That's what they say. The beginning, the middle, and the end is the same. The path is to be at home in yourself. The goal is to be at home in yourself. The starting point is to be at home in yourself. Otherwise, too many choices. What should I do? What should I wear? What should I say? What should I eat? Where should I go? What should I do today? Who should I talk to? Who should I marry? Who should I, like this, never ending. So I want to talk about self-love. Many people are commenting that they have very difficult to love myself. Very difficult. I cannot love myself. But actually, this is the most simple, the most basic. Even it is effortless, we should say, because we have misunderstanding. This is the problem, right? Everyone thinks to love myself is some kind of Hollywood story. Everyone's waiting for fireworks and balloons and sweet love letters with big complicated words and ideas and everything. And this is what we think. You think love myself means, oh, once I fix this, once I lose the weight, once I stop being angry, all of these rules. So many rules to love myself. So what is it? What does it mean to love myself? What is love? No? Your body is love. Your breath is love. To breathe is to love yourself. To breathe is love. Your blood is love. The blood, this nectar of life flowing in your veins and arteries, that itself is love. To feel your blood flowing is to love yourself. To breathe is to love yourself. To look at the beauty around you in nature, to feel the sunlight, this is to love yourself. But you can never do it with your mind. All of the thoughts are creating a kind of barrier that keep you as all these rules. If this, then I can do. If that, there's so many rules. But immediately you touch this no mind state. Immediately, without any thought, then everything is love. So the sun shining is love. The river flowing is love. Now, to take a bath is to love yourself. To go for a walk is to love yourself. It's not a big, complicated Hollywood production. To feel your feeling. You have sadness, to feel the sadness is to love yourself. To go play sports. When you're playing sports and breathing and running, this is to love yourself. To wash the dishes is to love yourself. But we want some fireworks and balloons or some fanfare or something. So to be yourself, this itself is love. But you can never be yourself with the thoughts and ideas and mind, because the mind is creating so many obligations, so many conditions, so many rules. I should be more like this, not like this. I have to do this. I should have done that. I could do that. What about this? What about that? You see, you can never love yourself with mind. The mind is always creating the condition of not enough. This is the nature of the mind. Not enough. Not enough meditation. Not enough yoga. Not enough. You're not nice enough. You're not beautiful enough. You're not enough. Mine is only not enough. So under those conditions, love is not possible. It's a strangler. It's like strangling yourself. You're strangling yourself with your mind. So this is a bad habit. That's why it's so important to cultivate this state of no mind. This no mind is love. In the state of no mind, whatever you do is love. Walking is love. Breathing is love. Otherwise, we make it becomes like an impossible puzzle. You can never solve the puzzle you create with your own mind. No one has done it. Sometimes people win the lottery, but no one has solved the mind. So we look at people that buying lottery tickets every day and we think they're so silly. These people wasting their money on the lottery tickets. But then what does that make us? No? Trying to find love with the mind, trying to solve it, trying to fix it. Has anyone fixed it? Has anyone solved it? Have the academics solved it? Have the rich people solved it? The beautiful people? The powerful people? The famous people? No one. So no need to put it off. Today, right now, this moment. To breathe with awareness. This is love. You're now living in love. You're living as an expression of love. Your body starts to glow and shine. Your heart starts to shine like the sun. Your cells shine like the sun in this presence, in awareness. Love is not for tomorrow. Love is for right now. The flower of love is blossoming right now. but the mind cannot catch it, cannot be caught, like trying to catch the water flowing in the river. So you have to become, you become that. You become a living stream of love. Then all of your words are like a beautiful fragrance, like a beautiful perfume. Your words carry the beautiful perfume of love. Your words, your thoughts, your actions become infused with that. But it's not a trying. It's not trying to, yeah, I have to look myself. Everyone says, I have to try harder. This is mine. This is not enough. You can't do it with mind. No one has done it. When you're practicing yoga and you feel that heat in your body, that heat is love. That heat is God. God is not a dude with a beard sitting in some other planet judging you. It's the heat in your cells. It's the breath in your lungs. This is the essential nourishment. Without this, right, we shrivel up and die, like a plant without water. And the plant has no water. What happens? It loses its color. It loses its leaves. No flowers, no fruit. Shrivels up and die. And so, even if you're eating spirulina and veggie burgers and everything, it's not enough. This is what is this? Most of what we eat is waste. Most of what you eat, more than 80% of what you eat comes out the other end. It's trash, indigestible. And so this is not like a side sling or a hobby, but this is essential nourishment. Essential nourishment not only for your soul, for your heart, for your mind, essential nourishment for your cells, for your hormones, your chemistry, for your blood. Otherwise, right, we're in a constant state of contraction, stress, right? Stress creates contraction. Contraction means we're strangling ourselves. Strangling, smothering, literally, literally strangling, hardly breathing, not breathing properly. Your cells are lacking oxygen. Your brain is lacking the prana. Your heart is tight. No, like wearing clothing that's too tight. How can you feel at home if your underwear is super tight at it? So we're not talking about spirituality or something. This is the essential nourishment without which you become like a shriveled up dead garden, like a dead house plant. Everyone for sure, I'm sure forgot to water a house plant, or you went over someone's house, they didn't water the plants. You know what that looks like? So this is why we recommend to take a few minutes each day to water your garden. Nourish your body, heart, and mind, if it's possible. Right? This is a proposition. This is a hypothesis, working hypothesis. If you have a garden, you must water your garden. This is true for sure. No one will argue with this. You have to water the garden. Now the question: can you nourish? Can you, like you water the garden? Is there a way you can nourish your body? What is the body? Body means not just the skin, not what we see, not what we see in the mirror. This is only the surface. Right? But the body is your cells, your blood, your organs, your hormones, your spine and nervous system. You have to, can you water? Can you nourish? Can you fertilize your body? Can you fertilize your heart? Can you nourish your mind? Every day we spend time to take care of ourselves. What does that mean? Brush the teeth, wash the clothes, take a shower. Right? Every day, twice a day. But I think we can all agree this is only the superficial level. Right? Every day, put on makeup, make the face nice, brush the teeth, wash the skin, wash your clothes. But for sure, this is on the surface. And so, what is going to determine the quality of your life? The quality. Is it the surface or the deep level? What is the health? Is the health have to do with the skin and the teeth? Or health have to do with your blood, your cells, your organs, your breath? And so if we already we're dedicating some time, probably like half hour to 1 hour every day, to take care of the superficial level. So very good, no problem. That's very good. But then is there a way that we can also dedicate, invest, is an investment. To plant a garden is an investment. No, nowadays we don't care about anything, because you go to the store, you can get anything, anytime, any season, any day. You don't even need to go to the store, right? Nowadays we have Grab or whatever. You put on your phone, you type the thing, they bring it to you right away. So we don't know the meaning of investing the time, planting a seed, right? You have the mango tree, it's taking 5 to 7 years before it's giving fruit. So, okay, now we don't need to plant the garden, but your inner garden, unless you invest in your body, heart, and mind, unless you take the time to nourish, to nurture, to clean your body, heart, and mind, then what will be the result down the line? No, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, if we neglect ourselves continuously neglect ourselves, chasing after some kind of success, material works, outer success, then what happens? Not even just 5 years, even today, tomorrow. right? There's a kind of emptiness. And so because of that emptiness, we need to distract ourselves. So eating and sex and buying things and running around, spending time on the phone, getting drugged, everything to distract from the emptiness, the core, the fundamental emptiness of neglecting yourself. Right, what I'm saying may or may not be true. You consider these things and you have to find out for yourself. This is yoga is a path of direct experience. You have to investigate through your own personal experience, your own subjective experience. You have to put this into practice. You have to consider very carefully. Because imagine you were playing a game for years, but you had some misunderstanding about the rules of the game, like where the goal is or something. You're playing basketball, but for some reason you think the goal is to throw the ball over somewhere else. That would be a tragedy, to waste so many days or minutes or years or something because of misunderstanding about the nature of the game. So what we're exploring here is about fundamental nature of life. For sure, if you, the garden will grow. The garden will flourish. The garden is growing every second. The garden never stops growing. Why? Because it's alive. So can we apply the same thing to this garden? This is a garden. This body is a garden. It's alive. It's not like a table or a desk or something, an object. It's alive. My heart is alive and my mind is alive. When you water your body, heart, and mind, when you clean your body, heart, and mind, when you tune your body, heart, and mind, then automatically you start to live from your soul, from your truth. But it's not a list. It's not like a list of things. In fact, there's no, it's like, when we're young, we write all these things like my perfect girlfriend will be like this and like, it's not like that. To be yourself is not some list of qualities and characteristics and everything. To be yourself is a feeling of and then without even thinking, automatically, whatever you do is being yourself. It's not a planning. If you have to plan, then it's not to be yourself. It's being some idea. It's something imposed from society. All this trying and planning and everything. So to be yourself is spontaneous and natural. As a hypothesis. So the same way a great sports player will train and then attain the level of effortless mastery, and this is what also we are considering, right? It's a consideration. I think it sounds good. I can say in my life 100% that this is the case. I grew up from a very young age playing classical music. From 6 years old, I trained as a contrebass, the double bass, that big mama instrument. I also trained from 6 years old playing tennis and played at a very high competitive level. And I used to go to tennis camp where we would train 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for like 6 to 8 weeks. Then I went to music camp, playing music with people from Curtis and Juilliard, Philadelphia Orchestra, playing very high level music. And so I saw very clearly that if you train, if you dedicated time in training, then that leads to kind of effortless mastery, self-mastery. And so I applied the same thing. In 19 years old, I was initiated in the traditional path of Kriya Yoga at a small ashram in Tibet, the Babaji Kriya Yoga Ashram by Marshall Govindan. This guy wrote a book called Babaji and the 18 Siddhas. Very good. And so I just did the same thing. I applied the same understanding. But instead of training to hit a tennis ball or to play a music ball, I was training to be myself, to master this instrument. And believe it or not, it worked. And I've seen it work again and again and again. No one will argue. If you water the garden will grow. You don't need to explain to the garden how to grow. The garden knows what to do. So if you nourish your body, heart, and mind, then the life inside you, the life that is you, the intelligence that is the life, will blossom according to its own unique pattern. Each one of us is unique. Each flower is unique. There's no same flower. Actually, there isn't even a flower. Flower doesn't exist. The flower is simply part of the process of being a plant. There's no thing that's a flower. The flowering is happening because of the aliveness of the plant. Flowering is the stage of a plant. It's not a separate thing that exists in the universe. You see? So the plant, the intelligence of life, blossoms at the perfect moment. That same intelligence that's growing in the plant is dancing in your cells and your blood and your hormones. It's the same exact intelligence, not a different one. And so that's why we encourage you to do 100 days challenge. 10 surface, 10 stuff. Means after you leave, to commit to a daily tuning, a daily, we can call it love too, to take time each day, right? Brushing your teeth is love. Take a shower is love. Okay, but a little bit surface level. But to do yoga, to breathe, to be still, to journal, to walk, to be in nature, this is also love. So this is love practice. You're marinating in your own love. You need to marinate not in the society's love. Right now, what are we doing? We're begging from others in society, love me, approve me, etc. But doesn't work. Because actually everybody's so obsessed with themselves that nobody cares about you. Society doesn't care about you. So the only way is you have to marinate in your own juice. And so that's every day. Do it for 100 days and then see how you feel. I can guarantee you feel better. Money back guarantee. More alive, more connected, more focused, more creative, kinder, more flexible. What does flexible mean? Flexible is not to touch your toes. Flexible means you can adapt to the moment. You can flow with whatever's coming. Whatever wave is coming, you can surf that wave. This is what we mean to be flexible. To be able to flow with life, to dance with life, not all the time fighting. Fighting, this is not flexible. Flexible means you can dance. So I can guarantee you take a little time to be with yourself each morning, 100% you'll be more at home in yourself, more comfortable with yourself, more in tune with yourself. Means setting boundaries. You'll be, because it becomes obvious. Right now we're neglecting ourselves, ignoring ourselves, we're running away from ourselves. So everything is very confusing and very difficult. And every now and then there's a flash of something nice. But this way, you establish the habit to be in tune with yourself. Every day becomes a miracle after miracle. Every day. Not once a year we have a good time, we go on some trip or set. No. Every day, all day, every day is unfolding discovery, adventure, miracle. Every day, all day, or inside you and all around you. It sounds good, but you have to see if it's true. I can guarantee it, but you shouldn't believe me. Look at me, I'm a bit crazy. So that's what I have to say. Let's see. There's some questions. Just are there any questions, Claudia? How do we want to do this?
Hey, John. Oh, shaky. Okay.
Cockney has a nice tan. You go to the beach.
Okay, question. When did you begin your journey to a spiritual mental enlightenment? Was there a moment or a motive to this shift?
Okay. Um, so in my case, from childhood, I always had a yearning for truth and beauty. And I always felt such a passion and aliveness from learning. And I never felt learning was restricted to the classroom, but I was learning every day, all day from everything. And again, that was classical music, and then sports, tennis, then baseball. And then that brought me to foreign languages. Right. So I had a real passionate embracing life. And I was always 100%. Whatever I was doing, 100%. Fully immersed in that. And then when it was done, I 100% dropped it and moved on to the next thing. And also, I never had any feeling of obligation by society to do something or like that. I never felt any obligation to pursue like a career or pursue family life or anything. And so whatever I would do, I did for that passion of truth and beauty. Like when I was 13, 14, the foreign language started to download with the universe. And I would study these different languages, and people said, why? For business, what's the purpose? I said, no, because it was like a love affair with, it was wild, passionate love. And so I've always had that passionate embrace from very young. Then when I was 14 or 15, I had a mentor. My first mentor, my first of many mentors. And he had been a student of Chogyam Trungpa. If anybody knows from Shambhala, crazy wisdom, right? So this guy he taught at a Catholic school nearby, but he was like a poet. He had been with like Allen Ginsberg and these guys, and he had a circle of friends who were all super high Dharma people from all around the world. His house was a library, floor to ceiling, filled with books. When I would go to his house, he'd pull out 20 books and I'd meet with all these people and everything. And so he gave me like books from Alan Watts and Suzuki Roshi and this kind of stuff when I was in high school. And so I was fortunately, exposed, that was in 1996, 95. So beginning of the internet and before this whole modern yoga craze. But I knew from that time that this was the real deal. Then when I was 18, I left the United States. I can't be here anymore. And I went to being like suburban American, whatever, it's regular people were like, oh, we don't think there are any good universities in Europe. So like the compromise was I went to Quebec, Montreal, French University. And then when I was 19 years old, I was initiated in a traditional path of inner yoga, Kriya Yoga, inner alchemy. And Kriya Yoga, I was very fortunate because Kriya Yoga is the path of sadhana, of personal responsibility and exploration. And so in the 3 days, they taught us this series of postures, this series of breathing techniques and meditation. And then they said, go do it. Do it every day. And I was just understanding that's what she did. And having come from a background of classical music and sports and language, I'd already learned 4 or 5 languages. I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to apply myself similarly, which I did. And within a few weeks, my breath would stop and I was entering all these mystical states and the full download of the universe started. It was very intense. I was very sick. I didn't have much support at that time. And I was going through all of these things on my own, often getting very sick. My body couldn't handle the charge of energy coming through. But I was also given at the same time that I went on that initiation, the teachings of the sages and enlightened masters. It started with Sri Aurobindo, who is a great yogi, 40 years in silence, and he wrote an encyclopedia basically revealing everything about everything. So for 2 years, I poured through his teachings, and from there I went on through all the sages. And so it's been a continuous thread in my life. It's not like I was like a business person and I got fed up with business and I was like, oh, I think yoga teacher sounds like a good option. Right? It's like my all from birth. Then this, and I should say when I was initiated and I saw these yogis in their like little underwear with their big beards and their big dreadlocks, immediate recognition. I was like, wow, this is my tribe. These are my people. And so that's been with me continuously now, 26 years, 27 years. And I went hard too. Like I said, I'm 100%. Whatever I'm doing, 100%. So, I went super hard. Like someone training for the Olympics. Because again, I came from a background of classical music. My peers were going to Juilliard, they were going to Curtis, they were forming the next generation of the high level classical musicians. If you want to play at that level, you have to practice 4 hours a day, 6 hours a day. And the same in the yoga. Yoga nowadays, yoga's a joke. Yoga's a joke. You just take a class and whatever. No, I was going 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. So thirsty and passionate. And from the very beginning, I said, I don't know how long this will take. I said, probably this will take 20 to 30 years. I was 18 and I was upset. I said, I've already wasted 18 years of my life. I can't believe it. I was really angry at first. I said, my parents, I wasn't taught from a child. I had to find my way here myself. I've wasted all this time. I need to catch up. So I was going extra hard. But I said, probably this will take a few decades. But who cares? First I have to do this, then we'll figure out what's next. I never expected that I never expected to teach anything or to have a center after anything. That was the furthest thing from my mind. I never in those 20 years, I wasn't like, oh yeah, let me do this and then I'm gonna have a center. Never once. I never ever thought like that. My only thinking was, I need to do the necessary training. I need to purify my body, heart, and mind. I need to, and then once I reach that point, then whatever comes next will be clear. So unfortunately, I was able to dedicate myself without any ulterior motive. And I never cared anything about having resources or money. For me, the only thing was truth and the direct experience of that, because it was so beautiful. For me, truth is the same as beauty. It's not truth is not an equation, like a complicated mathematical equation. Like we see those blackboards filled with all the X's and Y's and everything. No, for me, that's not like truth. Truth is like the garden, truth is like a jungle. So that's my story. So no, it wasn't like one specific thing. So I should say that what was really helpful, even having all of this stuff, when I was 13 years old, my parents got divorced. And it was a very nasty divorce. In the sense that my dad was a lawyer. And so they got caught up in the legal system for 6-7 years. Where I was put in the middle and I was bouncing back and forth between the houses, and I saw how miserable everyone was. And I realized very clearly, this is not the way. And it gave me a certain freedom that I was like, okay, like these people gave birth to me, but they're not able to give me the wisdom. They're not able to give me what I need, for where I'm going. And so without that, maybe I would have been more caught in some societal or family pattern, but I had to break that. That had to be broken in order for me to incubate this way of life. So that's what I can say about my personal story.
Okay. What represents Amma for you?
Amma being Amritananda Mayama, Kurnamayama, or just the concept of Amma?
And mother?
I think it's Amma, right? On stage. I think it's Amma.
Amritananda Mayama.
Yeah, Amritananda.
Well, maybe I'm going to reframe the question. And what represents Guru? Because I met Amritananda Mayama in 2006. She's on your left side if you look at the stage. She's a bit darker. On the right side, if you look at the stage, there's Karunamai Amma, who's also Amma. Amma means mother. Right? Amma's mother. And I met Kurunamai Amma in 2005. And so if you want to learn anything at a high level, requires a mentor. I trained at, like, again, I'm repeating myself, but I trained in classical music and I had many mentors. I trained in language, in linguistics. Igor Melchuk, a Russian linguist, he spoke 40 languages. He was in his 70s when I was training him. He was a beast. He never rested. He was so inspiring. Oh, then I was living in Brazil and I worked studying as a jeweler. And I had Edgy Milson, who trained as a sculptor in Germany and then came back just doing such far out, non-linear jewelry, not traditional stuff. It's unbelievable. Because if you go into the forest and you don't know the forest, then you don't know anything. You don't know which way is the path, which way to go, which way not to go, what can I do, what can I eat, because you don't know. So unless someone can show you, you can figure out yourself, but that's pretty hardcore. And you're likely to make more mistakes than not. If you have a map, right, that's helpful. Map is better than nothing at all. But better than map is someone who themselves knows deeply the path, knows the way, and can illuminate that for you. And so, Guru, they say that Guru is always mother, even in the male form. Even the male body, the Guru is mother, like a mama bird. What does the mama bird do? It chews up and pre-digests the food in order to spit into the baby's mouth so it can handle it. We're babies. We don't know anything about life. Who am I? What should I do? What should I see? Like, we don't know anything. So how can we possibly understand the ultimate truth? Not possible. And so this is why the Guru is essential. Also because so many reasons that I could go on forever. And it would be like cheap compared to what it really is. There's no words to express that or describe that. Amritananda Maima has given me so many gifts. I've spent probably over a year at the ashram in India at Amma's home. My family also, with my son learned to crawl in the Kali temple. He got his first beating from Amma. Kurunamai Amma came to my house when my son was just 2 weeks old and blessed him. So I used to say like this when I would become Puri. I would feel all this negativity come to the surface. Amma is like a vacuum cleaner. We have all this karmic bullshit and all these old stories and all this negativity, all this judgment and pride and arrogance and all that, just like a vacuum, bringing it all to the surface and then burning it in the fire. Guru is also fire. So there's so many gifts. There's the gift of cleaning the dirtiest shit that you can never imagine. But then there's the gift of giving these blessings of wisdom and so many. I mean, it's there aren't any words to describe that. No, like sometimes you have like a great date with a man or a woman or something, and it's just like mind blowing. It's some mind blowing. Like somehow you're hiking and there's a sunset and it's like, wow, that was fucking incredible, yeah. But with the Guru, every moment is like that. So how can I pick one thing and say anything? It's like that depth and beauty that you hopefully get sometimes, in your life when traveling or something or whatever, or when, in the romance honeymoon period with a partner, right? Like that multiplied by infinity, something like that.
Okay. What is life?
What isn't life? I don't know. Maybe we can, what's the purpose of life? What's the purpose of life? This is good. I can answer that one. I said, this one is very clear. This one became very clear 3 months ago. People used to say, like this, give me a second, I have to get there, right? So people would say, what is my purpose? Or what is the purpose of my life, right? This is one way to pray. Well, what is the purpose of my life? So I started to look very carefully, and I said, actually, I don't have a life, right? In colloquial terms, we say, I have a life. But actually, who is it that's having something called life? Right? Who is this person? Is there a person separate from life that has something called life? And the more I looked, I said, no, this, I don't have anything. Right? This body is mine. This isn't mine. This is temporary phenomena, and it doesn't belong to me. Who is this me anyway? So what became clear is that I don't have a life. Life has a me. Life is temporarily manifesting as me, as you, as the tulip, as the olive, as the caterpillar. So life has a me. I don't have a life. This is first step. First step is I don't have a life. Who is this I? Who is this abstract I that's having something, especially having something called life? Right? My car can have gasoline, but I don't have life. Life has a me. That's the first step. But life is having a me. Life is blossoming as me, and then this everything will disintegrate and get mixed around and become something else. Because everything belongs to life. This is a play of life. Life is beating my heart. Life is breathing my. It's not me. I'm not doing anything. If anything, all I'm doing is making problems, complaining. Right? So then I saw very clearly that what does that mean? Life has a me. That means that I am the purpose of life. To be yourself is the purpose of life. To exist as yourself. This is the purpose. To fulfill your purpose is to be yourself. But it's not my life. So you see, the purpose of life is to be you. But not the idea of you, not society's idea. Not the do's and don'ts and rights, wrongs, and everything. Oh, wild. Completely wild. And so this is and we can also say that life, this here life on earth, is a training. Is a kind of like a training, or like a field, like a field in a laboratory, whereby you get to through suffering and grace, you undergo some kind of transformation. There's something that it's a opportunity, it's an invitation, it's a dance. It's an invitation to the dance. You have a ticket. Everyone has a ticket. But very few people are how to say, embracing that. So life is an invitation But just because you're invited doesn't mean that you're allowed. No, many people are just like mechanically going through the motions. So this is another way. Well, okay, enough. Any more questions?
One more.
One more, okay.
What about gender and dharma? How the soul is tossing the gender. Choosing. How the soul is choosing the gender.
Gender is just one of the many qualities and characteristics of the experience, like being born poor or being born rich or being born in tall or being born short or in this country or that country. There are different conditions which the soul, which is beyond gender, the soul is beyond form, beyond name, beyond gender, is the formless. It's not beyond duality. And there's no duality. Everything we see is this good and bad, right? This is duality. So soul is beyond duality. But because in the process of birth, it needs to take on these different conditions, which will create a context for its learning. And that context is not meant to be easy, right? Life is not supposed to be like, oh, it's supposed to be easy, sweet, like that. No, it's each one of us gets the perfect configuration for the work and learning we need to do this time around. Right? And so the gender is another part of this puzzle of what we're brought in. We got certain countries, certain language, certain different characteristics, of which gender is one of them. But at the essential level, the soul is beyond gender. And every one of us has been born in all of the different combinations of genders and as mother and sister and brother and cousin and friend and everything. So we've experienced those in different times, in different configurations and patterns. And it's not just one aspect of that, but the whole configuration is perfectly set up for whatever it is we need to do in this lifetime. As difficult or challenging as it may be. But I remember I saw Lil Nas X, right? He's making a comeback, right? And I don't even listen to his music, but he'd been in a rehab and he said, gosh, I was born gay, black, and bipolar. He's like, all this at once, it's like, so we have all these conditions are perfect for the learning that we need to do. If we fight that, it becomes karma and suffering. If we embrace it, it becomes dharma. So to embrace those conditions, whatever they are, as difficult as they may be, to live that with, there's a kind of, it requires, this is a warrior's path. To be here on the earth, you have to be a warrior. Right, this is what Chogyam was teaching in Shambhala, too. You must become a warrior. You must be fearless because you're here to get your ass kicked. Right? We're going to get our asses kicked. Right? And that's why it requires the training to be able to keep your center. But through this process of surrender, then those challenges which were given, whatever they may be, to be born as a woman, very difficult. To be born as, in these times, in many countries, very oppressed. Now also you have a whole scale, a whole range of gender, everything. We have a whole range of challenges. But those challenges ultimately, when embraced, will lead you to the blossoming of your soul in this lifetime. And so it's not, we can't understand, karma can't be understood. We can't understand the conditions and why. It doesn't matter. We need to be more practical, more pragmatic. No, it's about how, through embracing that, then it brings us into alignment, and that leads you wherever you need to go. And along the way, it may feel like it's actually doing the opposite. Now, many times the life is so challenging and we feel like we're getting like destroyed and turned down. This is needed to like the forest fire that's needed for the new forest to emerge. So we death, destruction, ending, this is a central part in the cycle of life and growth. And so it's that's why we need the strong faith and deep roots, because we're in for a ride. And to assert idealistically, like, oh, it shouldn't be like this, it should be nice, or it should be smooth. No, this, you'll kill yourself with this kind of thinking. It's exactly as it needs to be. When you can embrace that without even flinching, right? And in the moments for dying, you die. And that death creates the space to be truly born. And so the soul is born where we come with the patterning, with the parents, the society, the schooling, all the trauma, everything is the perfect recipe for whatever is needed in this lifetime. Again, take a moment to find your center. The center is stillness, right? Like a wheel, the wheel is spinning, but the center of the wheel, the hub of the wheel, is not spinning, not moving. In the same way, you have to find that space, that stillness at the core, and then connect with that deeply. Hold on to that deeply. And even without knowing anything, then that will lead you where you need to go. We have too much attachment with the ego, with all the changing and pride and pick me. But you have to get this attachment with this source, with the core. That core cannot be known. It cannot be described. You can't know it. So don't try to know it. Just feel it. When you feel that, I am connected with the core, with my source. You can feel it in your breath, like You can feel you feel a lightness in your body and your breath. That means you have that connection. That's enough. Then you go out and dance whatever dance needs to be danced. I'm down to 2%. I'm one of the 2%ers. My phone is always at 2%. But I want to tell you guys a miracle that happened yesterday. I was using my phone. My phone was at 0%. 0%. Unbelievable, right? So you don't need 1% to be yourself. 0%, you can still be yourself. So I want to thank you guys all. It's wonderful. I'm a little far away, but I'm going to be back on the 29th. So anyone wants to stay for another retreat, highly recommend it. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Be good. Take a dip in the pool. It's hot out.